Watch this video if you are trying to organize your study routine in English. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. First of all, thank you so much for joining me on another lesson. And if it's your first time here, consider subscribing. From Monday to Friday, I post English lessons of all kinds: grammar, listening, reading, vocabulary, phrasal verbs, grammar, study tips, speaking tips. All lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. So consider subscribing because there's always something new. And we are more than 80,000 subscribers. So yes, I'm so happy. And you are part of this. So I can only say thanks. All right, but here we go. Let's dive into the content. How to organize your study routine. Well, the first thing you need to analyze is the frequency. Here, I'm gonna give you some tips of things you have to do, but the main focus of this video is to give you a step-by-step guidance of all the things you need to consider if you want to have a successful study routine, if you want to organize your study routine efficiently. Okay, the first thing you need to analyze is frequency. The number one thing is frequency. I think I didn't put the numbers in the other slides, but hey, who's counting, right? So why is it important? You need to define how often you are going to study. What are the best days? When are you going to study? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all right? Consistency is also super important if you want to have a successful study routine. You don't need to study every day, but you need to follow a schedule, a routine. So the first thing that you need to organize your study routine is to define the frequency. Are you going to study every day? Are you going to study twice a week? 3 times a week? Are you going to study on weekends? When is the best time for you to study? Okay, what are the best days of the week for you to study? You have to analyze that. And remember, always be honest with yourself. Don't be unrealistic. Okay? The second thing you have to analyze, I didn't put number 2, but it's number 2, okay? The resources. The more the better? Not necessarily. Many English learners believe they need to study from many different sources, you know. They follow 100 YouTube teachers, they have many websites they use many different books, and the reality is completely different. The more materials you download, the more books you download, the more videos you watch, the more different sources you have, the more complicated your study routine will be. Because when I think of a study routine, I'm thinking of a consistent study plan. If you are constantly using different sources, you are never going to be able to tell how much progress you are making. I am not saying you should not use many different sources. I'm just giving you an opinion. And again, you can watch many different teachers, as many as you like. But when it comes to having a productive study routine, the less the better, because you will be able to have a better control of your study plan. Okay? If you follow way too many teachers, you may get a little bit confused because every teacher is different. We have different strategies to teach. So make sure that you are consistent with the number of websites and YouTube channels you follow, because if you put way too many things for you to study, you may get a little lost. So if you have 100 different sources, you will forget many, you will not use many, some of them may confuse you, some of them may be difficult for you. So if you want to have a productive study routine, stick to a limited number of materials. So if you want to use the internet, okay, perfect. Of course you can use it. Limit the number of websites you're going to use. If you want to watch videos on YouTube, limit the numbers of different teachers you follow, at least for the study routine, okay? Now, if during the day a teacher you like posts a video on YouTube, sure, watch it. You like that teacher, go for it. But when it's time to sit down and study, then stick to what you established in your resource list. Okay, I have a resource list for my study routine and I always respect it. But during the day, I watch different things, I listen to different podcasts, no problems. Okay, respect the study time and be strategic with the resources you are going to use. That's very important. Okay, awesome. The next thing you're going to do is work on all the English skills: writing, grammar, vocabulary, listening, reading, speaking. When you are organizing your study routine, you need to think of ways of including all these skills in your study routine. And I know it's challenging, but it can be done. The idea is to connect these things together, okay? Link them. So when you do exercises that will connect these guys. So let's say you are working on simple past. That's a grammar point, okay? You're working on simple past. So try reading something connected to simple past. Try listening to someone or a video or a story in the simple past. Write about the listening. Write what you understood about the listening. And speaking, practice speaking to yourself, describing what you understood, what the listening was about, and study vocabulary connected to simple past activities. And even the vocabulary you learn from the reading and from the listening can already be the vocabulary study part. So connect the skills. If you write about your last weekend and study about simple future and listen about apples and bananas and read about your favorite shoes and speak about your likes and dislikes, you are going to have a very confusing study time. Organize everything, because when you connect the subjects, you are automatically practicing repetition. You are repeating the subject, but you are being creative in approaching the same subject with different strategies. Okay, that's what I do in my online program. I have an online program, and that's what I do with my online program students. We work on one subject, and every part, every skill will be dedicated to that subject, and each skill will work on that specific subject, and they are combined, okay? They are linked, they are connected. So think about that when you organize your study routine. You will realize that it's going to be way more productive than finding random subjects that are completely disconnected, okay? Awesome. Next thing, establish a review process, okay? Now, many English learners are worried about learning more things, but they forget to review things, okay? So every day, or maybe not every day, it depends how many times a week are you going to study. If you're going to study twice a week, okay, twice a week. If you're going to study 3 times a week, awesome, 3 times a week. So every study day, before you start studying the lesson of the day, review the past lessons. So if you study 3 times a week and it's day 3, you are going to review day 1 and day 2, okay? And every week you can change. If this week you're going to study a new subject, on that week, every study day, start with a review process. What new words did you learn? What was the listening about? What material did you listen? What article did you read? What grammar point did you study? If you always establish a review time, you are reinforcing the learning process, okay? Because learning takes a little time. And if you just study something and don't use it, you will forget. So it's important to have a review moment. Even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, ideally it would be 10 to 15 minutes. Review, take a look, listen to an audio if possible, repeat the audio that you listened on the previous day. Take a look at the vocabulary you studied, maybe take a look at the grammar point you studied, and then go to the new lesson or to the new part of the lesson. Okay, so this is an important thing that you should include in your study routine. Every time you study, every new day should have a review process. Okay, and now you may be thinking, okay, teacher, but what if I want to watch some videos? Do you think it's a good idea? Should I watch videos, TV series? Yes and no. It depends. It depends on how you watch. If you just hit play and, check WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and watch at the same time, then no, it's not really a good idea. But if you take some notes, if you watch short episodes or even short scenes from an episode and write down some words you learn, repeat some phrases you listen in the short scene you watch, then it'll be a little bit more productive. Okay, so you don't need to focus on watching long episodes or watching something every day. You can be a little bit more strategic with the way you watch TV series. Okay, so you can include, but remember to do something about it. Be productive with the shows you watch. So watch short scenes, repeat the phrases you listen, practice intonation. I love doing that when I'm watching TV series. When someone says something and I like the way they said it, I repeat, I practice. That's how I improve my pronunciation and intonation. And I learn a lot of vocabulary too. When I see something different, I pause and I write it down. And remember, short TV series or short episodes or even small, short parts of an entire episode, that's a good way for you to learn. There are more strategies, but in general, these are some things you can do with TV series. I have some videos here on my channel that you can watch, but overall, this is a good strategy. Now, teacher, how much time per day? How much time should I study? How much time do you realistically have? That's the question you have to ask yourself before you say how much time. I cannot tell you how much time. Of course, I can give you some recommendations of things that I believe could be good for you, but only you can have that answer. You need to be honest with yourself and analyze how much time you have. Because if I tell you to study an hour per day, but then you don't have 1 hour per day, what is going to happen? You will start, but then you will begin to feel very frustrated about your study routine because you will start to fail and you will stop studying. You will not be consistent. And after a few weeks, you will lose motivation because you're not being consistent with your study. All right. And this is why I say, how much time do you realistically have? Because this is a very personal decision. Okay. How much time do you have? For example, me, I study 40 minutes every day from Monday to Friday. That's what I can realistically do. I have time to do that. Do you have time to do that? Because if so, that's great. If not, it's fine. It's cool. How much time do you realistically have? That's what you should answer. Frequency, and after you analyze these skills and everything you gotta do, how much time do you realistically have? Because that way you will be following something that you can actually do, not just something that the teacher said you should do. Okay? Excellent, my friends. I have a question for you. I want to know, what is your study routine like? Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you do every day, how often you do it, because then if you're interested, I can create more videos in the future based on the things you share with me about your study routine. If you have questions, if you want to learn more details about how to organize a study routine in more details, let me know in the comments. Hit the like button because that helps the channel and it helps me understand you enjoy this kind of lesson. Thank you so much, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.